Hello, earthly beings. I am Victoria. Welcome to today's video. And you've seen the title or the thumbnail. We're connecting with the earth now, with Gaia, and seeing what comes through, what we have to learn right now. And this was a suggestion from Coreen, so thank you, Coreen, so much for this. And it's funny because I kept getting a lot of messages in a way, like seeing things about Earth, Gaia, and then yesterday I connected specifically with earthly nature spirits, like fairies and dragons, and yeah. They told me quite a bit, and I do want to share that with you, whatever part I feel like needs to come through at least. So I'll just allow whatever needs to come through now to come through, and I have these decks here. I don't know when we're gonna use them, if we're gonna use them at all, but they're here if we need them. So you can feel free to close your eyes or stare into space or just do whatever you need to do, chores or anything. You don't have to look at the screen, to be honest. Yeah, I'm mostly going to be talking. So I want to start with what I was told by these nature spirits, which a big part that kind of blew my mind. Maybe it won't blow your minds away, but for me it was like mind-blowing in a way. So what they told me is, our question was how to connect more with nature, and the answer was that we are already nature. We are nature, and we're already connected to it because we are nature. And what humans tend to think and do is that we are not part of nature. We want to, for some reason, disconnect so much from it and think that we're not part of nature. And it is true that in our DNA, we have woven different genes from all over the galaxy, most likely, but that doesn't mean that we are not part of nature. We still were born here on Earth. Earth is like, there's a reason it's called the mother planet, the mother Gaia. Earth is like our mother. We're born here, we're nurtured here. She feeds us, she takes care of us. We're going to talk about that a bit more later, but we are part of nature, and everything that humans create is also part of nature. It's like a pseudo nature. Because imagine if, let's say a tree creates its own fruit. And we start saying, well, that's not nature. That's just something the tree made. Yeah, the tree is part of nature, so it created it. So the apple, for example, is part of nature too. It's nature. So humans are part of nature. We are nature. We're technically one with it, even though we want to disconnect so much from it. So everything that we create is also nature. And understanding that is so key and important. This is the part that really blew my mind, because I at least thought that, everything man-made is like, well, man-made, so you can't connect as much with it. For example, this crystal, let's say, it's a crystal, so it's made from the earth. Let's say, yes. So, yeah, I can connect with it. But this is man-made. I can't connect with it. No, wrong. It's man-made. It's nature, too. So I can connect with this, and I can connect with the cards in the same way. They're man-made. I can still connect with them. The table, if I wanted to, maybe I could connect to the table too. I mean, technically it's a wooden table, but so that's also nature. What isn't nature? Nature, it's nature. Everything is nature. It's just that a lot of the things that humans create are not really going with the natural cycles. So the natural cycles of nature are give and receive, but humans are taking, and they're not giving back, or they're destroying. So once we learn about all of this, once we start really accepting that we are nature and everything that we create is also nature, it's when we can really start working more with the planet, and working with each other, because we are the planet. Every single cell in us is part of the planet, just like every single cell in a plant is part of the planet, because we're all from here. We're all right now human beings. I doubt you're watching this from up above in a spaceship or whatever, another planet. I'm guessing you're watching it from Earth. So you're a human. You're born here, and you are a part of nature again. So realize that and start seeing everything around you differently. And this is a really important lesson for people who work in just normal jobs, who create things, who are just working normally. It's a really important thing to know, because they are the ones making things. Yeah, I'm here making this YouTube video, for example, but so it's obviously a more spiritual video, but there's people out there who make food, for example, people who work in a place where they, I don't know, even the places they create the cards in, all kinds of workplaces like this. And once they start realizing that they're creating something more special than they actually know, like everything we create is special. And once we start realizing that and putting the right energy into it, it's when things will start really, the cogs will work correctly. Because right now, our machine, the machine that is the planet, is kind of working like a bit against itself. But we have to kind of tune it so that it works together, so that everything flows together. So it's like allowing the water to flow through all of us. For example, right now it's like not being allowed to flow. So some people are blocked or blocking it, so it can't flow somewhere. It's stuck in some places, where it's like being diverted to places that it shouldn't be going to. For example, that's thinking of energy currents and things. So once we start realizing this and actually honoring the natural cycles and giving and receiving, when we take, we need to give back, not just take, or sometimes, a lot of times humans do end up giving back, but just not in the right way. For example, so understanding that is very important. They really wanted me to know that, and I guess want me to tell you this. And speaking of Earth itself, herself, itself, do you want to put a pronoun to it? I don't know. Not really. I don't, at least. I feel like what Earth wants to tell us is that it's called the mother for a reason. Mother, matter, matrix, they all come, these words come from the same place. So matter, mother, matter is something, you perceive that you're touching, perceive that exists, perceive that is physical. That is why it's called the mother, because it's a physical planet where things are 3D, they're physical. We think we can touch things. We're not actually touching them, by the way. But we think that we are, and we perceive it that way. We perceive matter. So in that way, Earth is our home, the biggest piece of matter, where everything is created, where everything happens. But we are also matter. So we are all also mothers. We are all also a matrix. So understanding how the relationship between us and the planet, and how we are just like cells on the planet. It's not that particularly the planet is our mother. It's that we are the planet. Just like we are nature. We are matter, where we perceive ourselves as matter. We perceive that we are physical. We perceive that this is physical, a physical world, a physical planet. So we create things. All of us are here to create. All of us are here to give and receive and be a part of this cycle. And that's why honoring the cycles is also so important, and understanding the flow of everything. And not blocking yourself from flowing, for example, allowing yourself to fully flow with nature. So if you ever feel fear, I guess let's put a pronoun on the blind. What she's telling me is that when you're scared of something that is, especially from nature, for example, a lot of people are scared of bugs and spiders, especially. If you're scared of that, then it's a sign that there's something within you that's not flowing correctly. Because when you're flowing correctly, you're not going to be scared of nature, because again, you are nature, and you are, when you flow, you naturally know that everything that happens, there's a reason for it. Again, the natural cycles, the give and the take. So flowing together is key. And again, realizing the fears that you have. What are you scared of? Are you scared of any animals? Are you scared of anything? There are fears that are there to protect you. For example, being scared of a lion if you're somewhere where you can be attacked by a lion. That's more of a real fear. But even right now in the current world that we live in, it's really, it's not common for us to go somewhere and be scared of lions, for example, that they're gonna eat us or something. But if that does happen to you, where you're confronted by a lion, a snake, or something like that, and you get bitten, something happens to you, that is happening for another reason. That is showing you that there's even more of a block to a flow. Not just that there's a block to the flow in you, but that there's been a redirection. So now, once that happens to you, for example, if you get bitten by a snake, obviously if the lion example is a bit much, not sure if you can recover from that. Tasteless jokes. But if you get bitten by a snake, for example, there's a reason for that. There's something that is trying to tell you. It's trying to redirect you in some kind of way. And even the energy exchange between you and the snake is important, because it's trying to come back into the natural flow. Again, it's a lot about the cycles. Maybe you've taken something and you never gave back. So in this way you have to give back. Or maybe you have been given something and you never took anything back. So you're taking something from the snake. And the same thing if you get bitten by mosquitoes and things, which is so interesting. But for example, there's a lot of people that get bitten more than others. I feel like I never got bitten as much, but some people around me get bitten a lot. And we're in the same place sometimes. We're sitting or even sleeping next to each other. And still that other person gets bitten more. There's probably something there to do with biology, with what's in the blood, etc. But again, that's there for a reason. Why? Why is that person getting bitten more? What is it about them, or what do they have to get back into the flow of? So if you're one of those people that gets bitten a lot, try to think about it. Why? Why does that happen to you? And connect with your own self, because I really think that everyone will have a slightly different reason. There's not going to be the same reason for everyone. So if I say what the reason is for example, one of the people that I knew, that might not be the same for you, because we're all different, though the same. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I didn't know that. That just came through. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel a bit weird about that. Like, wow, never imagined that would be a thing. But yeah, it's all, so nature, everything else but humans, I guess. All the animals, they are in flow. They never went out of flow like us. They never tried to get out of nature. They never tried to put themselves away from it. They stay and they stick with it, and they flow naturally. And that's why whenever they do something, there's a reason for it, because it's that intelligence from the divine creator. You know, it's not just the earth, the planet itself, it's the creator, the divine creator itself that knows exactly how to flow. That's where the flow comes from. It doesn't come from the earth, or, you know, it comes from the beginning. That intelligence is flowing naturally through the earth, through the spirits, through the plants, through the animals, etc. So they know exactly what they need to do when they need to do it. That's why they know exactly what plants, for example, they can eat and what they can't eat, or what, I don't know, what animal they can eat and what animal they can't eat. They have that link to the intelligence, while we humans have disconnected from it. So we need to, again, connect those nodes within ourselves and allow the natural flow. Then we will have a much deeper understanding, and we will naturally feel the energy of the earth pulsing more through us, and feel that we're more connected. The earth, a lot of people feel like, oh, this is a hard one. This might be a hard one for some people. A lot of people feel like they need to protect the earth. The earth doesn't need protection. The earth, if it wanted to, could instantly wipe us out. I don't think we're very hard, you know, to wipe out. We're not like cockroaches, for example, that can even withstand nuclear power. You know, just do a few earthquakes, a little volcano, and then, you know, we're done. That's it. We gotta start it all over again, I guess, if that's what's supposed to happen. But you don't need to protect the planet from anyone but yourself. All you need to do is come back into flow with yourself. If you feel like, oh, but what about those people that are destroying the rainforest, for example? Those people, you know, it's like, again, the idea of karma, the idea of whatever is, when you take something, something will be given back to you. So if they're taking so much, something will be given back to them that's correct for their situation. You don't have to be the one to, you know, bring justice or save anything. All you need to do is flow and do your best to be in flow. Because if you are annoyed by this and want to protect, that means that you're not fully in flow, because you would understand that the planet doesn't need to be protected. The planet can protect itself. It's allowing this to happen for a reason. So, you know, hopefully you guys can understand this and won't be, some of you won't be too angry hearing this. Bring yourself into flow. So much about flowing. When you're flowing, you won't feel like, I need to protect the planet, I need to protect this or that. If you do at some point need to take some action, you will know. You will be given signs. You will feel it from within. But it won't be coming from the ego. Right now, I think for a lot of people, it's coming from the ego. And they don't fully understand that. They think that they're doing it for the planet. But, well, sorry. I don't think you are, if you are one of those people. Oof. Yeah. Sometimes connecting with the earth, you'd think you'd get all these nice messages, but then you get something like this and it's like, oh, okay. How do I tell people that? But yeah, let's get some cards out. I feel like, I've talked so much. It's already been 20 minutes. We have a card here. We have Rapture. So, pleasure, romance, devotion. I feel like there's something about the devotion we have to the planet. Some of us especially that feel maybe more connected and sometimes have had those urges to feel like, oh, I need to protect the planet. I felt that way too. If you guys think I never did, I'm not just attacking you. There's something about our devotion to the planet that's somehow connected to pleasure and the is it disallowance? Is that a word? Us not being allowed to actually feel pleasure. The way that we were stopped from feeling pleasure, women especially, to connect with our pleasure and to really be allowed to freely express that pleasure. That in some way created a negative link between things, created a negative cord in a way where we associate things like, if I'm devoted to you, I need to protect you. If I'm devoted to you, I need to get angry for you if someone does something wrong to you. But that's not how it should work. When the flow is natural and when you understand, when you have understanding, you're not gonna feel like that. So there's a saying, the people who love you the most, they're the ones who put the most fear on you because they love you, so they want to protect you from what they fear. But maybe you don't fear what they fear, so their protection is coming off a bit, like, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. Many people have felt this with their mothers, because mothers do this the most. And you would think we call Earth Mother Earth, so you would think Earth is like that too, but it's not. If it was, we would be living a bit differently. But the Earth doesn't feel like it needs to protect us. So why do we feel like we need to protect it? We just need to understand that everything is happening for a reason. No one is breaching anyone's contract or anything. It's not allowed for something to happen to someone without them giving permission. So you don't have to protect the ones you love. All you need to do is love them. And if something happens to them, if, for example, you're thinking, I need to protect my child from a bad relationship, because I've had many bad relationships, and it would be nice for my child not to go through that. But then you're not allowing your child to fully express itself by not allowing it, for example, to meet certain people. Imagine if the Earth was doing that, you can't go with this person because they will be bad for you. So I will create something here so that you don't meet, just because I think that, this person will be bad for you. But that person might have something to teach your child. So you're not allowing it to grow. So by us, the whole circle, finally, by us trying to protect the planet, we're actually hurting its growth, because we are the planet. And if we try to stop what is supposed to be happening, we are hurting our own growth, we're hurting the planet's growth. And we're disrupting the natural flow. Trust that everything will flow the way it's supposed to. And as long as you're in flow, you're in connection, you're doing your best, honoring the planet in your own way, nothing bad will happen to you. Again, if you feel some kind of fear from something, like, oh, this bug's a bit scary, what is being blocked within you? And if something happens to you, like a snake comes into your room and it's threatening you to bite you, where have you, gone astray? And this is just with animals and things, but you can obviously think of it in many different ways. Like if you're scared of change, or if you're scared of a particular person, if you're scared of anything, and if it actually happens to you, if you're scared of losing your job and you lose your job, well, what kind of change do you need to make? If you're scared of losing your loved one and you lose them, then think about it. Think about all of that. And release this cord that is keeping your pleasure and your devotion stuck together. They, in a negative way. They don't need to be like that. Let's see. I feel like something, needs to come through here. We have the King of Swords. Oh, okay. The King of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So the King of Swords, I feel like he's coming through. There's something about self-reflection, and something about the sword, reflecting the sword. The sword is like, I don't know why this card is coming through to say that, but seeing your reflection in the sword, seeing yourself in the mirror, seeing yourself in other people, because I am you, you're me, we talk about that a lot, but do we understand it? Do you fully understand it? The people that are creating chaos in our planet, they are us as well. Why are they doing that? See yourself in the mirror and stand up for what you believe in, but don't hold your sword ready to fight. Hold your sword ready to be, ready to just be who you need to be. Because we're not here to use the swords for fighting. The swords are actually a symbol of communication. The swords are a symbol of a flow as well, even though, air flows. And they're connected to the air currents. So allow yourself to be yourself, to speak your truth, but not infringe on other people's truths, because we're only just starting to realize things. We're only just starting to grow. We're only just starting to really connect fully with the planet. Here, we're only just starting to realize things like, all the man-made things are nature, Did you guys know that? I would be curious if anyone else had this, thought and belief beforehand, because I feel like I've never met someone like that, or I've never talked to anyone about this, so I never thought about it this way. But we're only just starting to understand things, and now that we are starting to understand things more, we can start to help more. The Page of Pentacles is a big one, a big helper, loves to help, and that's, all of us. We want to connect to the planet, we want to hear what the planet has to say, because we want to help. And yeah, the planet had some interesting things to tell us. But now that we're starting to understand things, we can actually help properly. And the Queen of Wands coming through here. It's interesting. We have the air earth and fire. We're only missing water, and water, I've been talking about flow so much, you know, water flows. But yeah, something about using the magic and actually connecting with the spirits as well. They're coming through now, the fairies, the dragons, all of the nature spirits, all of the others in every single part of the planet. They are coming through right now, and they want to tell you that if you want to connect with the planet, connect with them. They are the easiest way to connect with the planet. And there's definitely something about familiars as well, and animals, seeing the reaction of animals around you. Are dogs barking at you, or do they love to come towards you and play with you? What kind of person are you? Do bugs go on top of you often, or do you not get any animals around you at all? And see what that means about you, and communicate. You know, this Queen of Wands is very like a socialite, social butterfly, I guess. That's a big meaning towards the card, but I feel like we're supposed to be social butterflies with the nature, with the plants, with the trees. You know, I love going out and talking to trees, and talking to other beings here. It's not just about socializing with each other and sharing our ideas and things. It's about socializing and talking with them as well, and allowing them to share with us their thoughts, their opinions, their I guess their advice. Let's get one last card here. One last card from this deck, and see what will come through. Okay. 2 came out. I guess I asked for 1. We're getting 2. We have message of forgiveness. Interesting. And communication. Communication. Very interesting that it's coming through. And again, it's like it's a very similar image to this. So again, communication, using your communication skills and your flow. So once you're at flow, you can have a much easier time communicating with the spirits, with the planet. This is what's coming through. This is why this was coming through. So once you're flowing properly, once you're conscious of the currents that are flowing, the energy currents flowing through you, and how much you're letting in. What I forgot to mention, was probably important, was see how you walk as well. So for myself, I noticed that a lot of times I would walk, my feet wouldn't be firmly planted on the ground. I would kind of walk on the side, and I think, especially with one leg, the right one, I really feel like obviously there's a big reason for that. So watch yourself. Do you walk properly? How do you step? Or do you step a bit in or a bit up? Do you plant your feet properly, or do you walk a bit weird? Because if you walk a bit weird like me, you know, you're refusing some of that energy. Or maybe for myself, I'm a bit scared to fully open up, and especially my feminine side is like, in a way, feeling this negative pleasure and devotion, the negative chord, feeling that, and feeling scared to fully plant myself and ground myself, because in the past, you know, there were some scary moments for the feminine, especially on the planet, especially when the feminine tries to connect with the earth and connect with the plants and everything. They would say, oh, you're a witch, you should be burnt at the stake, or heretic, blah, blah, blah. So we need to start connecting more. We need to start walking properly and not be scared of this anymore, because obviously, I'm here. No one is particularly calling me out and trying to burn me at the stake. So there's nothing to be scared of. And again, when you're in flow, you're not going to be scared, because you know that if you're supposed to be protected, you will be protected. And if something is supposed to happen to you, it will happen to you, everyone has their own ways. But yes, communication. Once you're flowing and you release some of this fear, and fear that's to do with pleasure, and these skewed beliefs about devotion, releasing that, allowing yourself to fully flow, you'll connect, you'll be able to communicate completely and fully with the planet, with all of the beings. and you won't feel like, oh, I need to protect this or that, you know. You might still sometimes get a bit angry at what people are doing, but, you know, we're human, we're not perfect. And message of forgiveness, I left it for last because, again, forgiving yourself for not being fully connected and not fully understanding. I think that's really important. I feel like we blame ourselves a lot for not knowing things and for not being there for people and not being there for the planet. But we don't need to blame ourselves. We need to understand that this is just how things are supposed to be, and everything will be fine. Forgive yourself and forgive everyone else. Forgive all of the bad people who are doing bad things, because they're doing them for a reason. It's part of the natural flow and cycles. You can't have one without the other. How will you know what's good if the bad doesn't exist, for example? How you know what's light if you don't have darkness? And none of them are bad. It's just happening. So forgive. Allow yourself to forgive, and allow the spirits and the earth to speak to you and to explain to you, if you need more of an explanation, why you need to forgive and why you need to be more gentle as well. Gentleness is really coming to a gentle, very gentle energy, very nurturing energy. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna end it here. It's been 36 minutes now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you thought about any of this, and I'm really curious about your thoughts on all of this, because some of the stuff, like I said, blew my mind. And I'm curious if you guys were aware of all of this or not. You know, maybe you guys were more connected your whole lives than me. I was very disconnected at one point, so makes sense why I didn't know some of the stuff. But yeah, I'm really curious what your thoughts are and everything. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye!